Welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. This is a lovely Sunday. My name is Keelan. I am here as always with the co host that brings everything together, make sure we give all of the real opinions and nothing that we were paid to tell you. Ahaha, ahaha. How you doing today, guys?
Hey, happy Sunday, man.
Happy Sunday, Nick.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm paid to give certain opinions for these things we do. What are you talking about?
Come on. See, now you just blew our cover. We were supposed to have this whole,
No, no, no,
oh,
no,
these
no, no,
guys are
no, no.
so real and they do it
No,
live.
you guys are real, but I get paid.
Yeah,
Loving it. See?
I'm doing all right.
Deshaun's our CIA handler.
Hey man, everybody needs a handler apparently to get past the veil. So today's movie is Winchester, the Netflix. Well, actually, it's not a Netflix movie. It's a movie that is on Netflix, but it's the movie Winchester that is about Sarah Winchester, the wife of the guy who originally invented the Winchester revolving or repeating rifle. And this movie came out in 2018. It's starring Helen Mirren, Jason Clark, Sarah Snook, Finn O'Prey. I don't really, if I'm being honest, I've seen maybe like two or three of the faces that are in this movie a few times, but I have never. I can't really say I know anything that any of them have been in. When I looked, it was like, wow, I should know some of these people because of these titles, but couldn't say I recalled any of them. How about you guys?
Mm. Oh no,
And
yeah.
Helena Marin. That was about
That
it.
was
I
about
knew
it,
the
yeah.
other dude. I forgot his name already. The other dude, the main, I guess the main character.
Dr. Price.
Yes, Mr. Price himself, not Richard Price, but oh no, never mind.
Vincent Price.
Vincent Price. Richard Price. I got a coworker named Richard Price. That's why. I remember. Yeah, when you said earlier Pet Cemetery, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. They remade that movie. I wonder how that movie did. Oh well.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I didn't see it either. So no, I get it. As we went through the movie, I'd say there was the butler, the older butler guy. He looked familiar. I would say he, other than Helen Mirren, I may have seen him more often as kind of like a B-roll actor, someone who's has a fill-in role. Um, I think I've seen him more often than some of the main characters in this movie. But here I am now just assuming and thinking back over my last how old am I? 300. Um so the movie Winchester is about Sarah Winchester. This is taking place in 1906, 25 years after Sarah Winchester has lost not only her husband but also her child, and now her niece and her son lives with her in this home that is forever under construction. As Sarah Winchester says, it is a house built by the souls or the spirits. And with that being said, the whole theme behind this is Sarah Winchester believes that all of those who were killed unjustly or violently, or most of a good portion of the spirits that are killed by the Winchester repeating rifle, they haunt her. They make their way to her home. They make their way into her dreams, and they demand things of her so that they can finish their job or their work here and move into the afterlife. And from there, we get this movie. We get this movie. So the movie really starts with us just finding out that, like I just said, we're 25 years in. It's 1906, and the company, the Winchester company, they want I want to say Helen Mirren so bad. They want Helen Mirren off the board. They want Sarah Winchester off of the board because she's been acting erratically and crazily, and people think that she's losing her mind because she believes in spirits. I'm gonna stop there, say no more, and ask fellas, what is your initial impression, and what did you think before and as you first began this movie?
Mm. Uh, I hate doing this. I feel like such an asshole. I really do. I hate doing this. It's like I feel like I'm such a dick. But
I'll be an ass. Can I be
Yeah. Okay, you can go first, and then I'll just back up what you say.
Call me Assy McGee today.
All right.
No, this movie was it was all right, but concept was stupid. It was stupid. Once again, it brought me back like to the last movie, Malignant. It brought me back to jumping back into like my freshman years or my sophomore years of going to the movies, and I'm like, you know what? These are the reasons why I stopped watching these movies. And I'm like, God damn, dude, what happened to like shit like The Exorcist or shit like, Freddy Krueger and Jason, like when shit was a big concrete, but I can't say too much for like Jason and Freddy Krueger too, because it's like shit like that went off the rails eventually till we got shit like, Jason in Manhattan.
Freddy and Jason in space.
Mhm.
Yeah, so or I love Leprechaun in the Hood.
I'm about to say,
Like
come on,
Leprechaun in the
was
Hood.
good. I knew you was going there. Leprechaun in the
No,
Hood
no,
was
no.
actually
Actually,
good.
let me go back. Leprechaun 3, what do you like? Leprechaun in Vegas, right? I think that was the third one. And then you get Chucky, the Bride of Chucky, the Seed of Chucky. Then we get all this crazy off the wall bullshit. And now we try to go back to this nostalgia era of horror films that's just like, what the fuck?
Boring.
And
Boring.
it was interesting because it was just one of those films where it's just like, let me take the concept of some real life events that we don't know all the answers to, and now we're gonna just turn this shit into a movie and skepticize and just be the skeptic about what may have shooting a ghost and sending them
It was a dead bullet. Wait, sorry.
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll get there. All right. Well,
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
don't you watch anime?
I stopped watching that too. I stopped watching anime too to a point.
I'm sorry.
I have, and I'm 30 years old, and I've become a decrepit old ass, wrinkled old ass.
Hold on, wait. Are you telling me you're one of those people who think that Dragon Ball is all people sitting around talking all day?
No, I'm not going to talk about Dragon Ball.
Mm.
I'm not going to talk about Dragon Ball. That's not even on my list of good anime. Entertaining anime, but not good.
Oh yeah, I didn't know it was considered anime until 2020. If I'm being honest,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so,
but no, this movie was all right. It was stupid, but all right. I enjoyed it.
See, I said I didn't want to be the asshole, and Dijon's like, "Don't worry, I'll be the asshole for you." And then he said, "It's all right."
No asshole there, sir. If that's what you call an asshole, Dijon, that's April Fresh hand wipes.
Yeah, no,
definitely. Excuse me.
I think you were definitely even keeled with that assessment. Has anybody been to the Winchester House? I've always wanted to go.
No,
I researched that right afterward too.
Mm.
It is literally in the list of places to visit.
I will tell you, a walking tour of the Winchester House is more entertaining than this fucking movie.
I believe that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, we've talked about this with Malignant. At least Malignant had a crazy, like, comical sort of ending twist thing going on. This movie was just dull. Me and my wife were watching it, and like every 20 minutes or so, one of us would be like, "This is so boring." Like everything was a jump scare, and the jump scares were awful. And you know what it reminded? Like it wanted to do a House of 1,000 Corpses, but it couldn't do that. You know what I mean? And it's just like we've seen better. And it's weird to me because I have this theory now that like most horror films are super boring if you cut out all of the quote unquote scary stuff, like the jump scares, because it's just a person walking through a house really slowly almost the entire movie. So yeah, I mean, I was, Helen Mirren notwithstanding, which I think she phoned it in, but like I just found it really kind of like not scary and kind of like, well, they could have done something with this, but House of 1,000 Corpses has already done that.
Right.
So.
I like how you got House of 1,000 Corpses, and that was good to me. I got 13 Ghosts, which was
That might be the one
B-rated
I'm
as
thinking
best.
about.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I might
was
be
like,
thinking
oh,
about 13
mils.
Ghosts.
Yeah, which in
I
13
get
Ghosts
those
is
mixed
B-rated at best. Like if you were to give that your
but it's a
best
good,
rating,
but it's a
it's a
good
good
B
B-rate.
rated.
It's a good
Yeah.
B-rate. But I'm saying
13
this
Ghosts is
does not
good.
even touch that. So I'm with you on
No, exactly.
that.
Yeah.
This movie,
I was gonna say this is the problem I think most people have, and this is what I had with that one anime we watch, Yusuke.
okay.
And the thing is, I think a lot of these writers and these developers that not these developers, but these people that direct and write these things based off of other current events or real life events or something historical, they try to follow it, but they also try to make something different of it and it falls flat. And I think this is what it did too, because this movie reminded me of the remake of what's that shit called, Enemyville Horror House,
Mhm.
or something like that, and I forgot.
Yeah, I know what you're
The
Amityville
Amityville
Yeah.
Horror. Yeah.
Enemyville Horror, and I was just like, okay. I was a little bit scared back then, but rewatching that movie, I was like, yeah, it's like watching this. It's like, why does Hollywood do this shit? Why does the
And-
entertainment business just do this shit in general?
Yeah. And what is scary about Civil War ghosts? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
man.
When you can name a ghost Ben and be like, "Hey Ben, can you come over here?" It's
He was looking like Milkshake Boy from There Will Be
I
Blood.
get you. I get you. If they were racist ghosts, then I can understand for sure. But but like
I thought they were. I wanted them to kind of go there. It would have made it a little funnier, but there was
Maybe,
no reason
yeah.
for them to go there. So I'm glad
No.
they did it.
That's true. That's true. But this was like totally not scary. It was just some dude that wanted to exact revenge on Winchester because his brothers died in the war. I hope he killed
Well,
the people that killed his brothers
No.
before he went to the Winchester
And I
house.
thought his
No,
brothers
so-
were already at peace.
Well, no. So right. So that's the thing. His brothers were already at peace. He's the one who had an issue. He's the one who died in this tragic way. And the weird thing about what Sarah believes is that it's the ones who died the most violently and or the most unjustly. Now that doesn't mean that they were good people, right? So you could have died the most violently and been Bonnie and fucking Clyde. You could be Andre. No, that's not his name.
This movie was made by the gun control lobby.
I believe that too. So here's the thing.
Control
Here's
lobby.
my initial on this movie is this.
You're kidding.
One, it gives me the 13 Ghost feels.
Mhm.
And when I thought of that, what that made me think of was the last few somewhat, scary type movies that they've
Mhm.
been even just making. And I like
That
rap,
was scary.
I like hip hop, but these scary movies are starting to remind me of what rap and hip hop or however you want to. I don't think they're the same thing, but some people do, right? What that's going through, where you'll hear a song and it'll come on, and I'll just give you an example, right? And I'll keep it short so we try not to get any copyright infringement. But it's like you'll hear wow, 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 wow. You kind of already have an idea if you're listening to hip hop and rap. You're like, oh, I know what song this is. Oh, you're waiting for a particular drop, and then it's not there. And I think these movies are giving us that exact same buildup. Like this gave me really spiritual Bruja witch story kind of vibes at the beginning, coming in with him being a doctor and the deaths and the ghosts and the son getting possessed. And I really was like, oh crap. So Winchester's wife is about to be a witch or something, like something crazy is about to.
Nope.
Oh no, she's not even religious.
Nobody even dies, dude. I think the butler dies because an earthquake happens.
Butler and the,
Yep,
and the,
because
and
of
the other
earthquake.
dude,
You're right. I had to
mustache
think
guy.
about that.
No
Yeah,
ghost
nobody
kills
dies.
anybody.
Yeah, you're right.
So like this already is a fail in horror because nobody dies. It's
And I
not
wanna
even a
say-
monster. I would have been better if it was a monster, like an
Right.
amalgamation of all the dead spirits that's big, like manifest
Mhm.
as some just giant demon monster or whatever.
Just a ball of energy or something.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear. I'm not saying that this isn't good, right? But I'm not saying that it's the worst. And the same thing in my correlation with it to the music coming out today. I'm not saying that music is bad,
Mhm.
but it isn't fucking good. Like
Yeah.
if we're talking about the original product that inspires it.
They're
I'll
just
tell you,
unremarkable, I think.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you this about music, and I can make some relations to certain things right now. For me, when I listen to hip hop, rap, whatever, if they're two different genres or one in a bit, if I'm going to listen to that, I think the latest I can really relate with, if I'm going to listen like to the last De La Soul album, or I'm going to listen to like Run the Jewels, that would be like hip hop to me versus to a lot of things that has coming out where I'm just like, what in the fuck am I listening
Shit
to?
sounds original.
And it's like
Fresh
a twist.
content.
Yeah, it's fresh content with a twist in its own means where it's good. And that's just the thing. And I think this is what they do with movies and other things in entertainment. And it's just a thing that happens on a broad view of shit where there's nothing trying to be original or even give it a twist. And I think that's why going back to like a movie like Freaky, I thought the movie was stupid too, but I can always give it credit for trying to be something somewhat original.
Yeah, but I
Or
mean, even Freaky is just an homage to the 70s slasher, which
The
it does
slasher
well. Like I think it does that well. And so, like, even that has like a motif and a model to follow. I think a lot of this comes down to just like nobody wants to take a risk.
Right.
And so
that's
we're
really,
seeing a lot of safe stories that are just
thank
so
you.
boring that you forget.
Right. And that's where even Freaky is like Freaky would be, just to keep with my correlation of what I'm comparing it to with music. Freaky would be that song that made the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You get
I'll
what I'm
tell you
saying?
this.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad good for me because when I watch stuff like this, I'm encouraged. And I'm like, I think I could write something just as good as this or even better.
You could write something better
You
than
probably,
this, dude.
yeah.
There's nothing to this.
And I don't
There's
want to
nothing
be
to
I
it.
believe getting your work
egotistical
out there.
about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I believe getting your work out there, not necessarily getting it picked up, published, paid for it, and or actually filmed, but just getting your work out there comes down to the confidence. Just point blank period. There's a lot of great work out there that'll never get actually made.
And it is true. And if not, other producers and other big name Hollywood people, they buy it and they sit on
To
it.
shelf it. That's why it'll never get actually made. Yeah. It's part of the business. Unfortunately, I don't know how or why it became a part of the business, but it is. Excuse me. So what I thought was interesting when we get to the very beginning with Dr. Price, he initially thinks that the company chose him. Like the company's paying him, but like no, Sarah chose him. When we
Is
get
that true?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even she says it. And so to realize that she brought him in, as soon as we find that out, I'm just like, okay, so what does he have to do with what kind of weirdness she got going on? And then you kind of get his backstory and what happened there. My question is, if you are a part of the board, right, and you're trying to get Sarah Winchester out of there, why would you let her choose her own physician?
Because it doesn't make any sense. It's just a reason to get him over to the house, honestly. Like I think that's it. Why didn't the character, the doctor character, have an arc where he's decided to stop being a heroin addict? He didn't.
You're right.
He's still a heroin addict. That wife killed herself after shooting him in a heroin filled rage.
Yeah.
He just pours himself out to orgies with all sorts of women. I was like, okay.
And can't argue.
Look, I'm definitely jealous of all the laudanum that was consumed back then. But still, back when you could just go buy a bottle of it. Yeah.
Opium-based syrups.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so once we get through that, though, listen, I'm just gonna say this flat out. Night number 1, I'm out.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Winchester, you, this company, I don't know what I just saw last night. I don't need no explanations. I'm out.
I don't even think you would say that. You just leave.
Right, I'm out. I'm out in the middle of the night like a booty call.
He needed $600 though.
Yeah. This was 1906, so $600 is probably like $100K equivalent.
Yeah, probably about 10, 15 grand, I'd say.
Come on, it makes me feel better if he risked his life for 100.
Well, yeah, maybe. Who knows?
He
I mean,
risked his
in the
life
way,
for
well,
10 grand.
I haven't taken in the fact that we've, increased, our inflation has gone up like exponentially over the
This
past
is
few
true,
years. So,
especially the
yeah.
last two.
Yes.
Um,
No comment.
so
That's fake news. Don't talk about that here.
All I got to say is let's go, Brandon.
let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, wait. Now, I want to get to Ben so fast, but we can't, not yet. So, Marion Marriott.
Can we just call
name.
him Milkshake Boy?
He definitely looks like a milkshake.
He looks like Paul.
He's got a face that's like a moon. It reminds me of like the moon from McDonald's. Remember that moon guy?
Does it just look like a normal sized lurch face?
No, but his like face does this thing where it's like he's got that really big jaw, but then his like nose is back. I think he's Greek. He looks Greek.
Okay, there are some specific defining characters you're noticing.
He's got a very Roman profile. I don't know what that means.
I was just gonna ask, like, what?
Yeah.
You know what, sir? We're gonna move on from this guy and his structure.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm.
So we meet Miss Marion Marriott Marion and her kid Henri. Listen, can we just call everybody Henri from this point? Because it
sounds better for sure.
Sounds better.
And I kept telling my wife that kid's hair bugged the crap out of me. It was so red. It was so red. I don't know if I've ever seen hair that red before, and it bothered me.
It wasn't the red that was bothering me. It was the core, like they gave him the perfect bangs in the front right above.
Oh, he had the simple Jack.
Line.
He had the simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, but it was too perfect. It almost looked like a wig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's what it was. It almost looked like a wig.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at his casting photos, that is not a wig. That is his actual hair. So I'm like, why did they cut his hair like that? That in fact, it was 1906. I don't know what the hairstyles were like for young boys, young sheltered boys, because he was definitely a young sheltered boy.
Yeah.
I don't think he had to sleep in the same house same room as his mother with 100 rooms. What do you guys think?
It reminded me of.
They should have just let him jump off the building.
For sure.
End everything.
Yeah, it would have been over.
No, but he reminded me of my roommate's son. My roommate was this older lady, and her son was this guy I went to high school with. It's disturbing to know that this dude will go into bed and sleep with moms. That was disturbing. Yeah. That's what little Henry reminded me of. But that was a kid. This was a grown-ass man. See? So bad that Nick just had to walk out.
Very nice. That just took me left. I don't even know. So Marion lets Dr. Price know that she thinks he's a douchebag because he's there to do his job. And then lets him know that he was chosen by her auntie, but she still clearly thinks he's a douchebag. And it's like, bruh, I'm here to do a job. That's all I'm here for. I'll respect your auntie. I'll do everything that you're asking me. I'll follow all of her rules. No, I won't. But I'll follow her rules to the extent in which is acceptable by me. He broke so many damn rules. He should have been kicked out.
He should have. Well, she was playing that. She was playing that test game. I just had this weird, awkward feeling like they secretly want you, man. It's something sexual about you and them, but they want you.
Man, but something was.
It was something she definitely needed.
Yeah, something was definitely off about Mrs. Winchester all the way around, though, and it ain't the ghost. That's just me. Like, there's something off about Sarah Winchester, and it ain't the ghost. She doesn't allow the space for other people to be human. Now, in some respects, it's probably because she in her mind, she's protecting them, right? But if you want to protect people from these ghosts that you've invited onto this plane into your home, stop bringing people to your house.
How about if you feel so guilty about your murderous fortune, give it away.
I don't
Pretty
think that.
much.
I think I'm assuming she had tried that and it didn't work. I'm assuming that's my assumption.
Why? Why would you assume that though?
Well, because she was so meek and nice and such a sweet lady. There's no way that in the 1800s she didn't own. I mean, give away money.
Well,
Sorry, I'm
That
sorry.
was giving away money building that shit.
Sometimes I do watch some of these movies in the time frame, and I'm just like, all right, you want to be accurate up to a fault, huh? Ass. Because I just like there's certain things that I feel if this is really we'll talk about whether or not it even really happened or not. But there are certain things that are placed into movies at certain times and points, and it makes me think, why was it relevant or why was it needed in this instance and not in this instance? I get really curious about those kind of things.
well, they did that in this movie with the bullet thing, where they had like the scene where he talks about the meaning of the bullet, and then one scene later they do a flashback to him talking about the bullet, and it's like, oh, do you remember that thing? And I thought to myself, oh yeah, the thing that happened 5 minutes ago. Why are you throwing a flashback to that?
Mm-hmm. And also, so let's say, because we don't know how long Dr. Price's wife has been dead. So let's say he's an addict now, few years, 3-4 years. 3-4 years, you're opium addict. You've been carrying this bullet. How did you survive, sir?
Good surgery in the 1900s.
Nah.
Well, I know he was dead for 3 minutes.
That's right. Dead for 3 minutes, and they defibrillated him back to life.
What did they use as a defibrillator? Did they pull down the electrical wires?
I don't even know if CPR had been invented back then.
I'm thinking maybe. All right, bear with me here. And I forgive me for that laugh as well.
He Wolverine that shit.
No, he just pushed the bullet out of his chest.
So, that is hilarious.
Hugh Jackman that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I heard that there are ways in other countries that they resuscitate people after they pass out or when they're having heart-related complications. That doesn't require electricity, but some hand cranking of the power tools.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes. I've only heard of this via people getting knocked out in fights and junk. But apparently,
so you they
masturbate and it jump starts the heart.
Or you could just turn them over and they'll be fine.
Pop them on the
yeah.
And they wake up. Yeah. Now, be clear. I have heard of that. I don't know how true it is. It's never happened to me, and I've never seen it. But I am assuming that back in the 1800s, they may have had.
That's what they were doing. Yeah.
Because there were no defibrillators, and according to this 2018 movie about this 1906 event, he died for 3 minutes, so he had to come back.
So does that mean somebody? And I'm sorry, this is being really crass, but does that mean that somebody had to jack him off for 3 minutes?
I don't know if it was. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how the process works.
Right.
I just
we need to get down to the science. I mean, we
all right.
need to.
I bring it up with
inquiring minds need to know.
Right. Look, I brought it up with lack of evidence. Damn it. I'm sorry. Google didn't. I didn't think to Google it. Didn't think to Google.
No, I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard. I just
can
think
see why he used to get all high and just have all these women there.
Look what I started. Oh my god, that was supposed to be medically sound information.
Well, if it's a remedy to something, why not?
It's a no. So once we're moving through, we find out that Mrs. Winchester is going to come to dinner. And first off, I want to know why dinner with Sarah Winchester was made to seem so damn sinister, and she's damn near flirting with Dr. Price.
They made her seem like a ghoul for the first like 10 minutes of her on screen, and then she's just like all nice. She's like, "Oh, were you out of your room?"
Right? Oh yeah. Well, wait.
Honest.
Yeah, the interrogation game kind of pissed me off. First off, how do you know so much? Do you sleep, woman? Because we never got that. Does Sarah Winchester sleep?
She's busy Harlem shaking and getting off the spirits, dude.
Well, and why is the doctor the only one that can see the spirits? Is it because he's an opium addict?
Because he's been dead. He had to clear the opium from his brain in order
Right.
for his dead vision to kick in. His
And
Mm.
only
death
she
vision.
can hear him. He can see him, but she can hear him.
Mm.
Yeah. Because it's like apparently she can't see them.
No, she can't see them. He's the only one that can see them, apparently,
Come on, man.
for reasons. Because you were killed by a gun that my company made, and now you're intrinsically tied to this house.
Hey, man.
Because I made this house, and
The spirits
the
made
money,
the house.
yeah, the money was with money from guns. That's-
Dead money
good.
made a dead people's house or a dead
Yeah.
person's house.
No, damn guns. It's the guns' fault.
Oh, it's definitely the gun's fault. Have you not heard? Do you not know the evils of guns? It has nothing to do with the man holding it.
No,
That shit.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I like
It's
how
the evil as people.
I like how the niece Mrs. Marriott, I like how she brought that up at the dinner table. She
Mhm.
made sure that her point or her view on that was made very known, which I liked. So I feel like at one point of this movie, we realized that we have the three stances of gun control on screen. You have Helen Mirren, you have Sarah Winchester, who's totally against guns. You have the niece who feels like guns are fine, but you have to understand that the person who is wielding the weapon.
Mhm.
And then you have the doctor who just thinks weapons are fine. Like there's nothing wrong with them. They're weapons. We use them for what we use them for. I
Yeah,
appreciated that, but they didn't dive. If they were gonna do that, just dive into it. Go heads over heels for that.
yeah, I guess.
Let them have
yeah.
a good knockdown argument about it, cuss each other out. Sarah Winchester threatened to kick Dr. Price and her niece the fuck out the house, like something.
That's why nobody died, because they couldn't show guns saving people.
No tension,
It,
right?
but it did though. It shot
It killed the
and
ghost.
killed the ghost.
It killed the ghost.
And you know it
He's
killed the ghost
resting in
because that's
peace.
the only bullet that didn't shatter glass.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Even though it was a
How was
real-life
that?
physical bullet.
How was? Well, I'm jumping ahead, so I won't ask that question. I'll ask once we get there.
So yeah, once we get through that, I mean, what the doc and his meds. He wakes up after his drug fueled slumber, rendezvous with his wife. Rendezvous. Rendezvous with his wife in the Astra Plains.
I don't know what that was about. He gets to see Native American slaves and all sorts of weird shit. Dead butlers.
Oh no, that was later. That was later. We're not there yet. But yeah, that too. We'll get to that. And that's really where the 13 Ghosts moments came in, actually, right around that time. That's when it started hitting me as 13 Ghosts. Literally, actually, pun intended, I guess.
You know what? He was high the whole time.
He was high the whole time.
That's what I was thinking.
He didn't even go.
It was a fucking butler. They didn't know about choking Helen Mirren ass out.
Yeah.
It was just missing the whole time. And he went, bam! There you go. And that shit happened. And that shit happened in the house was that earthquake we had in San Francisco. They had in San Francisco.
That's the only real thing that happened, huh?
Yeah.
Which they try to make it a fucking
like a ghost quake. It was a ghost quake.
Yeah. I like how they tried to make that parallel, like, the 1906 quake only happened because of this.
Right.
Have you guys ever seen a cartoon called
bridge almost fell.
Called Danny Phantom on Nickelodeon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go, Danny Phantom with that ghostly well, just shaking shit out. That's what it was.
There you go. Why did they put guns back in the house?
Because
part of the room.
Because it had to be like the room.
Yeah, you can't bring weapons in because it would shake. She wasn't okay with that. But if they were for decoration,
but hold on, one of her
make sure you load
guy,
the decoration.
The guy that was like in charge of the construction and shit was like flossing around with a rifle and shit. I was like, okay,
because he was allowed, in case somebody else tried to come in, he was gonna lay him down, sucker.
I have to admit, the Winchester repeater is a sweet gun.
It definitely is a beautiful
weapon. Yeah, that's super cool. I want one.
That's
the only thing it's done for me.
So once we move away from the dinner and We go through our first night of everything. We get forward a little bit. Then we have a second night of Dr. Price getting all drug fueled. And then he snaps out of it, goes for a little gander around the property, and sees Henry about to jump to his death. Which, all right, look, your kid keep getting possessed, first off. And
Mhm.
Sarah Winchester makes it so, oh, the ghost, they go after what did you say? The most defenseless. First off, children are not defenseless in the mindscape, ass hats. Let's
I think
get
she
this
also
out of the
said
way.
the most pure too, and I'm
Maybe
like, I don't
no.
know.
If they're gonna run with the most
He was
pure,
a
all right,
ginger.
cool.
He's not pure.
That's what I'm saying. The reason
Ow.
that the ghost was able to possess him is because gingers don't have
Because he didn't have a
souls.
soul already. Yeah, we were going there. Wow.
With a bucket shaped hairdo.
Yeah, they didn't put a bow. That was
Simple
definitely
Jack looking ass.
But my thing is this, right? Children, and I think this irritates me a lot in movies. Children are not the most mentally weak people. They are actually they're the most mentally strong. In the mindscape, they should be the strongest. They have the most
Are
creativity.
you thinking of little girls? Little girls are haunted. So
This is true.
yeah,
Damn. Okay. Yep. Shattered that theory. Never
that's
mind.
just like the horror trope. It's like it's always little girls. They're always haunted.
It's always little girl.
It's
Unless you just have a murderous child, then that's a little boy.
Yes, right.
Yeah, just look at Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm gonna continuously bring up the movie that it seems only exists in my Mandela scape, which is Mikey. It's a movie called Mikey.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard that? No.
Yeah, I heard of that.
It's basically the male. I want to say it might be the original Orphan movie, like the movie Orphan with the little girl who was a grown woman. It's basically this little kid. He is an actual little kid, but he's a serial killer. And he kills all of his foster parents and
oh, nice.
falls in love with the wife and the sisters and shit. It's crazy.
Mm.
But yeah, total psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like that is the only example we really have. So I get what you're saying, Nick, about it mostly being little girls that are haunted. But when it gets to Henry in this movie, I just don't understand. It's like you have this little kid who stuck around some of the most magnificent, not magnificent. What's the word I'm looking for? Magnanimous. Like this shit's just off the wall. Like, how can he not have this extreme level of creativity in this home with 100 different rooms and all of these things? He just lost his father. Like, come on.
I think you're digging too far deep into the.
I don't
They
think
just needed a reason. They needed a reason.
His mom.
He didn't like his daddy.
They did need a reason, but they should have possessed his mom. She was weak.
No, she was a fighter and a protector.
Oh my god!
Not when you're shaking in your boots and you're saying it.
They just stood there in the corner. They could have just walked out of that area. They could have just
fighter. I'm a fighter. How you a fighter standing still and the ghost hand is right here?
And we never got an explanation as to whether Winchester's daughter and husband were killed by the spirits.
Yeah, that would have been a great thing to find out.
It would have been nice to know. Maybe she killed them, and that would explain why she has a picture of a dead baby that she likes to look at.
Then sniffs it. Sniffs the kid's hair.
Yep.
Like, well, that's not fucking creepy.
How hasn't that hair deteriorated?
They used to do that back in the 1900s. Like if your kid died, they would take a picture of it dead, and then you would just keep that picture.
Yeah, fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Hey man, why do you think they were so cold-hearted and morbid? Everything was about death back then. Like life was death, literally. So as we move on, we've gotten past dinner. Henry's been saved. We now understand that Henry is a target for this spirits. And now you have Henry and Dr. Price are locked away. Dr. Price and Sarah have had this, I guess you can say this moment of flirtation, because I really don't know what else to call it. Those weren't interviews. That was weird. Like, it was like they were bonding on this really weird level that wasn't necessary at all.
No. None of it was necessary.
They're gonna make another ginger baby.
God, I don't know how that would be. Well, you never know. She could have been a redhead. But so she locks. Oh, he's supposed to be locked away in his room, but it just so happens he can step out of his window onto the roof and walk across to her sector of the house, and nobody sees him.
He pulled the Assassin's Creed, dude. He's part of the Assassin's Creed guild.
He definitely is a part of the guild. Because, geez, like how? Why? So he gets over there, then he gets spooked by the ghoul or the spirit.
Like, just call him Benjamin.
Button?
Benjamin.
No. You can't disrespect Mr. Button like that. Hell him.
That's funny.
That's Milkshake Boy.
Milkshake. Actually, and thinking of with all of that, so I thought about this during the movie, especially I thought about it around the time he crept out and was creeping across the roof, and I was like, how does nobody see this dude?
Mm-hmm.
I realized that if you are a super rich person who has a fortune that is always going to be coming in because of the basis of what kind of work you do or business you're in, and you're lonely, you can literally just hire a crew to work on construction 24 hours a day. You'll never be alone.
Mm-hmm. That was part of it for her.
I feel like that's what it was.
Yeah,
dude,
she really did that. Yeah,
she was taking them guys in. There was something
maybe
something underneath her veil. She was just all in it.
Whether she did or didn't, the fact remains: 24 hours, she was definitely lonely. Because that means you got power tools and hammers and all of that going all day, every day for 25 plus years.
I bet it was for her.
You are hilarious because I just realized how I just set that joke up. Wow. I set that up perfectly. Alley-oop. That was one of those street ball behind the back, throw it off the backboard, do a cartwheel alley-oops right there. I didn't even know I did it that well. Good job.
Unfortunately, they didn't have power tools back then, so they just had to use their good old, natural tools.
Hey, they had power tools. I guess that's really where I set up the innuendos with the power tools. Like they didn't have power tools back then. But if we're talking about, so what did you guys think about Ben inhabiting Henry? Okay, let's just get to it, right? Ben inhabits Henry, and now Henry knows how to work the repeating rifles, and he's working it to perfection. Dude, but he can't shoot her at point blank range. But he can see over the wall, so he sees her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been over.
And if they had a shot her, I was confused. Like, so what's gonna happen after he kills her? Because I was like, she's for sure about to die.
No, I'm confused at the end when he pulled a Magneto. Fucking X-Men United and just fucking guns.
Oh yeah. That was the question that I was gonna ask about. Yeah.
Oh, how he got super powerful all of a sudden.
Yeah. So, when did he develop telekinesis?
Yeah,
because he got his room.
Right. So, so we can basically get there because that's pretty much where we're headed. There's nothing else that really happens between that and between us finding out about, him creeping across the room and there's one thing that happens actually really quick before we get to Ben and the Magneto moment. So Dr. Price and his wife.
Was he really a doctor though?
Therapist Price and his wife.
Because it seemed like he was just scripted, which was like, damn, dude, that's fucked up. You are a phony, as you were telling yourself at the beginning.
Correct. Yeah.
Just have some opium.
And you'll make it out.
That was the answer to everything back then. Have some opium.
Hey, it made you feel like you were better, made you think better of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So his wife, though, so she killed him by accident because she was going to commit suicide for what again?
I think she was doped up.
She could
have been schizophrenic.
You're right. Okay, there we go. That's what it was. She was possibly doped up, but also she had some kind of mental disorder, and he kept saying, oh,
Mhm.
treatment and treatment and treatment and all, there's a cure for everything. And it was like, no, she really just needed real life help, and he didn't seek the help for her. So she probably
Mhm.
turned to the drugs, and that's what drove her crazy.
Yeah.
And they were both on it. And then when he tries to go over and struggle with her, she thinks she kills him, and that's why she commits suicide.
And next to that, then she was like, Dr. Price, aren't you a man of war too? I was like, oh, you probably done it. Nah, you know what? I'll stop.
Thinking
I
he
don't know.
was probably a soldier.
Yeah.
Mm. I don't. Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't remember that being said.
I
But
mean, but that's
those times.
1860s. This is 1906. I don't think he was a soldier.
Mm. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. The time frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah, that's what I was like, I'll just stop.
Now, Helen Mirren was definitely around during that time.
Real life or the movie?
Oh no, yeah, not real life. Oh,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
I'm gonna say,
Lady
gosh,
Winchester. Yeah.
Lady Winchester. Do you think they had hollow points back then? Really, I'm gonna ask that, and then I'm gonna get back to the movie.
I'm gonna point bullets.
Like their own type. Because that
Yeah, it's like in
bullet
Red,
looked
like
very
in Red
pistol.
Dead. It's like in
Yeah.
Red Dead
You get
Redemption,
what-
where
you get
you
exactly what I'm
enhance your bullets by just putting notches in the ends. Yeah.
I mean, you never know. Back then, I'm thinking it could have been some type of a methodology to making your bullets travel faster. And also that rifle bullet looked very pistol-like to me, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
That for like it looked more like a modern bullet than something of that time.
Yeah. And I like how people can like perfectly scribe. I don't know if anybody's tried to scribe on brass before, but I definitely have. And
Not when it's rounded.
you cannot scribe. Yeah, like you can not make a scribe, like a word, without screwing up the entire piece of brass.
Really?
It just doesn't
Like
work.
punching through
It's
it?
really it. Well, no, just be scratching it. Like so, we had that like always together or something on the bullet
On
or
the
whatever.
bullet.
Yeah, and like I don't know how people did that back in the day, but it is not easy to just have clean lines on like that on metal.
Right.
Doesn't work
Movie magic.
for a
Right.
movie. Yeah.
Me thinking right now from a physics stance, you wouldn't even be able to inscribe. You would probably have to stamp it like a hard stamp before.
Yeah,
you
that
make
would be
the,
easier.
cylinder,
Mhm.
and then you'd be able to fill it with gunpowder and all of that. Because if you stamp it with the gunpowder, you're gonna make it explode. And if you try to
yeah.
inscribe it with the gunpowder, you're gonna probably puncture it and make it explode.
Right.
But
No good. Either
yeah,
way.
look, but I'm thinking about real life stuff. That's a movie. This is a movie, so
Mm,
they literally just sent it over to a trailer, and it came back 5 minutes later.
yeah. Somebody got their Dremel out and just just went to town. with it.
Somebody airbrushed that thing. What you talking about?
Yeah, that's actually true. It'd be easier to do that.
So back to the House of Possessions. I didn't. Yeah, we already kind of talked about the mom and the son. I didn't understand. You're not protecting your kid. He should have killed his mom. I know that sounds really messed up, but I'm saying in the context of this movie, she shouldn't be alive. Something should have killed her at some point. The butler
Yeah.
should have actually survived, not her.
Well, but the ghosts were also like cognizant enough to know that it was Winchester, even though it wasn't her. So, like, that's what I don't get either. It's like her husband was the one that was it the arms dealer.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
why
Like,
go after her?
why go after her? And then, like, even okay, so now I can understand you're going to go after her because she still has the whatever, but why go after her niece? And then why go after her great great nephew?
Right. Have you guys ever seen well, right, because his last name's not Winchester. Have you guys ever seen Winchester? You guys ever seen Supernatural?
The show now.
No. Okay. Yeah. If
Sure
you're
gets into
Winchester,
that,
you must die. You're
Yeah,
Winchester.
okay.
The Winchesters are, once you're in that line, you're a slayer, or in this case, you're just a part of the gun family.
Mm.
The supernatural beings are coming for you once you get that name, man.
Well, I'm not calling my kid Winchester then.
Dang it.
Not to be messed up.
I don't think
dumbass name
anyone
anyway.
should name their
Yeah.
kid Winchester, because then their nickname's going to be Winch.
Winchy boy.
Hey, Winch. Let me get a water, Winch.
Yeah, that sounds like a slur.
Oh,
It
God.
definitely sounds like a slur.
Like
Yeah.
some shit you hear in an NPC, like this. yelling out in a fucking Fable game.
There you go.
Winchester, Winchester.
Get the winch.
Chicken chaser.
So, but yeah. So after that, they have all of these multiple couple battles, where you have Dr. Price and Lady Winchester, and they're fighting like they're Daenerys and Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it. They were way too. They were so bad at being a team. They were good at being a team.
And if 13 nails seals in a ghost, but they could just pop the nails out whenever they want,
look like they're sealed to
what
me.
difference? Yeah, what difference does it make?
Until at the very end.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Well, at the very end, we'll discuss that. But
Mm.
in
Sequel.
general, it doesn't even explain. So when they do go up before they lock themselves in with Ben, you have, like you're saying, all of the spirits down there. They push the nails out, only to later be told, "Now all of you go back to your room.
Go back in." Yeah.
And they go back.
Yeah.
And these are all supposed to be spirits that had disobedient problems and they already had issues. Like they need to be locked in their room like children until they decide they want to be passed on.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just all of a sudden they're all docile and cooperative now.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, he over there. Take care of homie for us, please.
And I just
Because
remember
their ghost leader died.
Right. That's where we get our slave and our Native American in the spirits that return. One was a slave that gave the nails, and the other was a Native American that gave his nod of approval to the murder of Ben.
Right.
Pivotal characters.
Pivotal characters. Pivotal, very pivotal.
So the whole locking themselves in with Ben, I don't know. I'm guessing it's with the whole where we're getting the telekinetic moment. I'm gonna give my theory. I guess we'll all give our theory on this. So the reason he was able to lift all of the guns and the glass, and then he lifted the one to his hand, and then he cocked it, cha-chow, and he was ready to get busy. It's 12 midnight. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. No, it's 12 midnight, and he has summoned all of his powers that he's been manifesting for the last 17 days.
That would happen at 3:33.
That's what I was gonna say.
Come
on, that's the witching hour, supposedly.
Yeah.
But they weren't. This had nothing to do with witchcraft, so they didn't have to be concise. It's funny that we all know the hour though.
Mm-hmm.
Adding to
it's a witching hour for me in the bathroom. I'll tell you that.
Gosh.
I'll be howling, boy. Especially after Wingstop.
Okay, that's because you only get hot. You get atomic, don't you?
You get atomic and the habanero, boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, I need to stop.
Dijon eats wings and then touches his eyeballs. These are, I can't believe it.
Nick, you remember them ghost peppers?
I remember, yeah. Never again.
Wash your hands before you piss. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That is a real thing. For those who are not aware, anytime you mess with any type of peppers, I actually grown habanero peppers in my yard and made the
oils
mistake.
just stick all over to you. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, oh, I'm gonna cut some of these up, and then I went and I sat and I started playing Xbox, and I didn't wash my hands immediately. My fingertips started tingling, and I'm like, what the hell is? Oh no!
Yep.
It's a long night. It's a long night. But so as far as him picking up all of the weapons, listen. Linda, listen. It doesn't make sense. My only theory is it was 12 o'clock because that's what they wanted. They wanted that to make us think, at this time he gets the most powerful. Yes, they got the time wrong as well. And I also think they got the manifestation powers wrong because even if he was to become that strong, which I would think he would have to have some connection to the spiritual realm as a human before he was a spirit to be able to become that strong. If we're going to be consistent with, with the movies. Once he grabbed the gun, like if he had just literally done it all telekinetically, I would have bought that a little easier.
Yeah, but also he was like a butler that was just hanging out,
Fake
and the dude could see him, and
because
they
he
had
knew
a
he could see him.
conversation, and it's like, I don't know, I don't know. He wasn't scary. He
No, it
wasn't
wasn't scary at
scary
all. I
at
was also trying to
all.
pinpoint his Southern British accent.
Oh yeah, he definitely had like a put on Cajun accent that wasn't like authentic.
Good at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. No, not good.
That was the twist on him having conversations with ghosts.
Oh, it's like the Sixth Sense.
Oh, you took it out of
Didn't
my
even
mouth.
see
Oh,
that.
It would have been
took
a
that right from
cool,
me.
but the thing is, it would have been cool if he was actually dead.
Or if all of
Yeah.
them were
Dr. Price
dead
was
except for
actually
him.
dead.
Except for
Yeah.
Sarah. What if? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been dope if everybody, including the people working on the house, were dead,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
except for Sarah Winchester and like the oldest butler.
Then
Mhm.
boom, bitch, mind blown. Fucking
Yeah.
house made by
That would have
spirits.
screwed me up.
That would have been too
screwed me
much like a American Horror Story Murder House, though.
up. See, I didn't see that season.
I've never seen
That's a
American
good
Horror
one.
Story, so I don't know.
Oh,
And
dude, watch seasons 1, 2, and 3. You can
Yep.
stop at 4.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch past 3. I think episode 8 or something like that.
But what
I
about
think
the
that's where I stopped.
vampire and aliens making out and shit?
Nah, honestly,
What?
Coven is one of the best. That's season 3. I like Asylum too. Asylum is number 2.
I forget what happened in season 3 that made me like stop watching, but it was something in season 3 that just kind of turned me off.
Hmm.
In the witchcraft, the Coven episode season.
It could have been Stevie Nicks,
Possible.
but
It's a
I love
Stevie
Stevie
Nicks.
Nicks. So
We're
I don't
but we're
know.
like it's like the brutal honesty of like when something could have just really just that could have definitely gave me a bad taste.
It could have, yeah.
And not because I like her as a singer, but sometimes I don't understand how we put people on these pedestals,
Mm.
and then when we put them back out in front, it's like, did you understand the pedestal we put you on? Are you trying? Are you
Yeah.
trying? And that's no disrespect to Stevie Nicks. So if anyone takes offense to it, not you guys, but the public. So from there, I don't know. I don't really know where to go from that moment because that's really where, to me, everything kind of went full circle. I was really leading into that too, the whole him lifting all the guns and turning into a superhero. After that,
Only to get shot.
yeah, only to get shot by a dead bullet. Or,
Mhm.
but so what? That was my question though. What is you guys? How did you guys? What is your take on the whole superhuman moment he had?
I was shaking my fucking head. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. I mean, ghosts being able to pick up guns and shoot people, first of all, like, then that's not even a ghost. That's just a home intruder. Like, then this isn't a ghost story. You just got a home intruder that's trying to kill you. That would have been a better story, actually.
Like I
Take
said,
the ghost shit out of it.
Someone who
purpose of
lost
being
their
dead?
family.
Yes.
Right, someone who lost their family to an assault or like a massacre
Yes.
of Winchesters, and they were coming and harassing her. Now that was a
Yes.
story.
And instead of a psychologist, it's a detective that goes to stay with her to go see,
Try to
like
figure
what's
out.
going on.
Like
Yeah.
Sam
like,
Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
Sherlock
like that.
Holmes and her niece and shit.
Yeah.
That would
See,
be
we already wrote a better
dope.
movie, guys.
See, then we just bring in then fucking unmask like Scooby Doo, and boom.
You know what's weird? Somewhere in there, I get Jeepers Creepers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, No Country for Old Men vibes. Like we mash those two together, we can get a really good fucking movie.
Yeah. It could have been like a murder mystery sort of thing.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta get off air and get busy with this. But yeah, so for me,
we'd be in those writing rooms and it'd be like, no.
No, I don't see it. I don't really think it should go that way. It's not really true to the essence of the character. Trust me, I went to NYU. I know what I'm talking about.
That person likes eye drops in their coffee.
Good call.
It's a good flavor.
I'm telling you that in the witching hour.
The witching.
First time I've seen some shit like that when I went and I watched The Wedding Crasher. Bradley Cooper getting the mind drops in this shit.
Oh, that. Okay. I'm like, the witching hour was not in the Wedding Crasher. Keep talking. But yes. Bradley Cooper deserved that in the Wedding Crasher as well.
I
forget that he
watched
was.
Lodge.
I watched the Internship the other day.
Hey, I seen that. I was thinking about rewatching that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the sequel to Wedding Crashers.
It is.
It
It
is.
is
It is the
definitely.
sequel.
Yeah.
I don't care, but yeah, no, really quick. Just I don't care what anybody says. Vince Vaughn, Bradley Cooper, and Christopher Walken on the same screen. But that is Christopher Walken, right? No, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, and Wedding Crashers. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
The scene where he's telling them about a good family thoroughbred upbringing.
Oh yeah, dude. Bradley Cooper's such a psychopath in that movie. It's hilarious.
Hey, buddy, you wanna play some football? Hey,
Yeah.
huh? How you doing? Hey, oh, let's go.
You guys have reminded me of a movie with Christopher Walken, literally called Seven Psychopaths.
I've heard of that. I've never seen
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember.
It
Yeah.
was decent.
And it gives, I think to myself initially that Christopher Walken in the movie called Seven Psychopaths, he's gonna play a younger version of the military guy who had to watch up his ass in Pulp Fiction.
There you go.
So yeah, that is pretty much the wrap of Winchester. Ben is shot with the Winchester rifle, the same type of rifle that he committed his massacre with.
Dude,
And
the
he is shot-
Patronus gun, the Patronus rifle, they had the fucking deer on it.
The Patronus, that's the one. Is okay. There we go. The Patronus gun, the Patronus Winchester repeater rifle of 19. I'm assuming that would be like an 1892 model or something.
Yeah, it must have been older.
Yeah, definitely. Because and really quick, I think that because it seemed to be one of the more popular models in the time in which he did what he did and got killed. Because it was like that whole case was full of them. That's all they had there.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, again, like we said earlier, everybody survived except for the butler. So
And the guy that was in charge of the construction shit.
did he die?
Cool. Yep. He got dragged, then slammed into a wall.
you're
Oh, the
right.
ghost quake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ghost killed him too. So they both died by Ben somehow. Because really quick, what happened to him? The exact same thing happened to Price, but he didn't take Price as far. Come on.
It doesn't. This is
I guess
This is why you need to have scary characters and not like actually threatening. You know, like I don't know, like these ghosts aren't scary unless they're like, demonic. Or I don't know. I'm just not afraid. Like I don't get spooked out by ghost stuff.
Well, what I noticed with scary things, a lot of times it's just the origin story. Think about how fast we can break down every single ghost in this movie alone. We still can't explain the Jeepers Creepers monster.
Yeah.
Shit's still a mystery.
He just be eating you.
Right. That's a good character.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna start. I didn't understand how he could see with that fucking potato sack over his head too.
He was a little kid or the guy.
Ben just killing people. Like
I'm assuming back then potato sack was the only way of ski mask, so that was just what they did,
I mean, you can kind of see through burlap, but not very well.
But I mean, if that's all they have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he knew a woman he could have got a stocking from, but whatever.
I'm sure he knew some people. Oh, never mind. I'm not even going to say it. That's so fucking wrong.
But so yeah, all the way around, this movie took us halfway up a hill and then allowed us to roll back down to the starting point. And that's
nah,
really
bro. This movie said, "Hey, look over there. There's a hill."
And it ain't the hills that got eyes.
It ain't the hills that got eyes. Yep.
Right. Now, and I will say this though, I do feel like they gave us all of the foundation information that they possibly could. It's just the execution of that information was a little. I feel like they did what they sought out to do, but they didn't get the product that they sought out to get.
This would have been way better. I mean, like the Winchester house is all about like weird, trap doors and hallways that go to nowhere and
Did the
stairs that
house
go
have
no.
not been
They
haunted?
didn't even explore
Or
that. That was the funny thing. They
yeah, we
This
didn't
would
really learn anything about the house at all.
No, and that would have been a perfect venue for like a killer that's on the loose. You could have had a classic story of like the night of dinner, like the dinner guest murder mystery thing where everybody gets invited and our character gets invited to the Winchester Manor for dinner. And then they find out there's some crazy killer within the party. And then it's just about people trying to escape this killer while being in this confusing ass house.
Isn't that House on Haunted Hill?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so.
Also, on Hill, no, that was stupid.
What's the one where at the end they make it out the house is trying to kill him and they have to survive until sunrise to win $1 million?
House on Haunted Hill.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
That movie was stupid to me until I'm like a young kid watching that movie and I'm like, this dude is literally about to like fuck have sex with this dead woman on the table. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
She was a
that's
hot
how
dead woman.
Yep.
I mean,
Yikes.
And for the record, just because we're bringing it up, and I doubt we'll ever. Well, we may. Who knows? I might say I doubt it, and it'd be one of my next movies. But how the hell did they ever get down at the end of that movie? That was the last. That was literally the question at the end of the movie. Is they're sitting on the like top of the ledge? It's a mansion sitting on the top of a mountain, basically, and it's over this cliff where they're sitting on the top of the window ledge, and their question as they're panning out is, so how are we going to get down from here? Because they just won $1 million because they lived to the morning. But how are you?
Oh, you're talking about that movie. I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No.
Ruining Winchester.
No, I just thought I was trying to think of like in my head. I was like, was there a scene like that?
Oh no, yes, no. It's just that's how the movie House on Haunted Hill ends.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And then so the very end of this movie, after Sarah tells all the ghosts to go back and everybody is doing well, and Sarah decides they're gonna rebuild. They rebuilt very fast. I don't understand why all of a sudden there's nails coming out of one of the doors again at the end of the movie.
It was the Native American guy.
They better not come out with
a
part 2. Winchester Part 2. Huh?
Winchester Part 2, Montezuma's Revenge. There you go. Done.
Go to fucking Knoxbury Farm for that one.
I know.
They're gonna call it Winchester Part 2, the birth of the FN. Like something has to do, like when Berettas first were created. Like
how much did this movie make? I'm curious.
Nothing.
How much money did this movie make? Like 30 some odd million. Look it up.
It's got to be nothing.
In the 30s.
It's got to be nothing.
We're gonna look.
Honestly, I think they lost money putting Helen Mirren in here.
Oh no, that's the budget. We got it. We're gonna find this, and then we're gonna give our ratings.
Yeah, sounds
I really
good.
want to know how much it made. That's a great question.
Oh, so it made opening weekend 9 million gross. It made gross worldwide. It made $44 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
I wasn't too far off. And for a $3 million budget, that's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
But they made most of that money on the lure of the name Winchester.
Damn, Helen Mirren's not making money nowadays, huh?
I don't think Helen Mirren's working for money.
Maybe not.
I'm just something I feel with a lot of people who've done art like this, like she's done art for a long time. I don't think they ever were in it for the money. So, they were going to do a couple of buddy flicks. I owe somebody a favor flick, contractually obligated flicks. Maybe they're with a studio and they have to go and do one of these kind of movies. Those kind of things. But as far as livelihood and lifestyle, I'm sure all of that's covered contractually. I feel a lot of that will be covered contractually. I can't say I'm sure of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, I feel like she's that highly acclaimed of an actress, someone who's been around for that wave of, I don't know if I'm making the amount of money I should be, and now I'm making a decent buck. And then we find out that, she also works at Food for Less on the weekends.
That'd be
So,
all right.
She's still getting her royalty from Devil Wear Prada.
oh, for sure.
She's set.
Was,
That's all
was,
she needed.
was Helen Mirren in The Devil Wears Prada?
No, that's
That's Glenn
that's
Close.
the other. Yeah, Glenn Close.
Oh, that's getting close.
Yeah,
Look, I
it's
thought
the
about
other.
it after
It's
I
the
said it,
other
but
white lady that looks like her.
No, they
it's-
between them two and what's her name?
Oh, the other one that everybody loves. What's her name?
Fuck, she was in what's that movie called? Into the Wild, into the Woods. I forget her name.
I keep wanting to say Barbara Streisand, but that's not it. It's
Barbara's doing her thing.
it's the one that everybody. It's the older lady that everybody
We
loves,
still
and
got the hots for
she's like this. They think she's like the best actress in the world.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Yeah.
Streep. Yeah.
Yeah, between her and Glenn Close,
Meryl. Yeah,
look
that is
sim-
true.
they look
They
similar.
do. Yes,
You
they do.
confuse Helen Mirren, Glenn Close, and Meryl Streep.
Those are all the
Yes.
same lady for sure.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
look alike to me.
They all look alike.
They legitimately all look alike.
I just looked up really quick. I didn't know Helen Mirren has played Cleopatra and Queen Elizabeth. Make that make sense.
I mean, it was the 70s, so
No, it was the 60s.
oh, the 60s even yeah. So even less scrutiny.
Yeah. So yeah, I really have nothing else on this movie. The way it ends, the way it begins, the way it runs. I can say I will not be watching this again. I can definitely say that.
Whoa, that's the first.
I think that is the first that I've said that, and
Mhm.
I'm definitely not watching this again. I didn't miss anything. I don't feel like there's anything more I can get out of this, and I feel like if anyone can get something more out of anything, it would be the creators of this getting something more out of our opinions of it, which is nice try. You owe somebody some money, maybe. The last part's a joke, just take it like a grain of salt. But I will give my rating first. I know usually we don't have the person who chose the movie give the rating first, but I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I am gonna give this I'm gonna give this a rating that I still feel is a little too high.
An 8.
It is. Oh wait, what? An 8? Hell no. And to be clear, I want to
7.5. Okay.
You know what I mean?
7.8.
I want to also, before I give my rating, say it's crazy also to think Helen Mirren is an Oscar-winning actress. That's how you know she phoned it in for this. That's how you know.
It
Because
didn't
I'm
even
sure
have to be
she could
Helen
put it
Mirren.
wrong. It could have been anybody. It could
Could
have
have
been
been
anybody.
anybody. Yeah.
But it's like she literally did not have to dig into her bag of tricks for this movie in any way.
It could have been my.
She just showed up.
It could have been my soggy, wet, wrinkled ass that's soaked in the shower.
I mean,
It did this job.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like she showed up. She made sure to give a professional performance, and that's what she did.
Yeah, she did. I enjoyed her performance though.
So within that, based on Lady Helen Mirren, the Tony Award winner, the Oscar winner, I'm gonna give this a 5.
How dare you?
Yeah, I still feel like that's too high. But.
Okay.
And to be clear, sometimes these ratings come because of my disappointment. Like, I expect to like these movies.
Can't always get what you want.
But if you find sometimes that if you know what they say,
You get what you need.
yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take
All right,
it, man.
Dijon.
I wanted to like Spider-Man 3, but I just don't.
Well, the Toby dance is,
That's the best part.
is
I'm not
meme
saying-
worthy.
The internet gave you all you needed from that.
Yep.
Bully McGuire. Why not?
Yeah.
I give it a same. I give it a 5.
All right. Yeah, 5. That's good.
No, I think I got all my reasons out at the beginning of the cast.
All right, fair enough.
Oh my ass.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, I'm going to think here. I'm going to go along the same lines as you guys and give it a 0.
Nice.
Here
So
we go. Straight up 10s.
Straight up 10. No, I really do have to give it a 0. I don't think that there was anything really that great about it. There's no rewatchability. It wasn't scary.
It was the little kid, huh?
The little kid was gross. He grossed me out, and yeah. So I mean, like I just didn't. I don't know. I don't think that we need to ever see that movie again. So
there you go. And what did you give? You give it a 4?
0.
You give it a 0, man.
0. Whew. At night he can't wake up with a dry pillow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, look, you guys did give it a 5, and I think that that's being generous. So I had to bring it down to
I said it was being generous
a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, what happened if I would have gave it a 0?
Then I would have given it like a yeah.
Because my initial was a 3.5, and maybe I just have too much of a heart because Helen Mirren alone, I'm giving a Helen Mirren movie that low of a rating. But you know what? I gave a Denzel Washington movie that low of a rating. What did I give? You know what?
The Little Things is at a 2.8. The Little Things, yeah, I would watch. No, I don't know if I could watch. I can't.
No, that's literally what I'm thinking, Nick. Which one would I watch twice?
Right, exactly.
I would watch The Little Things again. I wouldn't watch this again.
Yeah, you might be right.
Let's change it. I'm changing it. We have the cast.
You got to bring it down. So you got to bring it down to a 4 or a 3.5. Okay,
3.5.
hold on. So that's
I give it a 7 now. I refuse that.
Yeah, no, I can't give this that high of a rating because I would not watch this again, and I would definitely watch The Little Things again. So yeah,
I'm sorry, I can get laughs out of this versus The Little Things. I'm just like,
there was some chuckles.
Fuck that.
So that if you
watch The Little Things, I'd laugh more than I would laugh at second watch of this.
So yeah, if you bring yours down to a 3.5, my 0 and Dijon's 5 will leave it at a 2.8, which is exactly what The Little Things is at.
That sounds better.
But both of those movies are still better than Reminiscence, apparently. Reminiscence is at a 2.3.
Because nobody wants to watch you sit in somebody's playbacks just for them to sing, and then you to find out they're a drug addict, and you still
Dude, I know. That movie was so bad.
Logan, you should have went and found your wife. You didn't have to become this guy.
No.
He could have went on a trip. We could have got a new Wolverine movie where we find out he goes to find X-23 because he finds out he has a kid clone. Anything would have been more entertaining, than that.
Yeah, we could have had the Wolverine's family vacation.
Ooh.
I would have been cool with that.
That would have been pretty good. We could have got Logan Civil War days, and Sabretooth is still there. Weapon X, what's the John's hat?
All right, well,
yeah. So yeah, that is our coverage of the movie Winchester. Shout out to Lady Helen Mirren for keeping us interested in any way, shape, form, and or fashion. Everyone else in this movie, glad you showed up to do your job. And anyone who takes offense to anything we say, get a fucking sense of humor.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will be offended by that. I think we saved them an hour and 40 minutes.
For sure.
So, almost did an hour and 40 minutes talking about it, though.
Hey, you know what? Which is more entertaining, honestly. You'll get more chuckles. And,
it's true.
All of the same storyline that you got from this movie from listening to us. And we really appreciate you guys for all of those who hung out with us through this show. Those who are tuning in later, whatever time you're watching it, morning, noon, or night, a year from now, a year before now, if you went back in time and just played it back on your saved casts that you have on your listening device, whatever you guys have and whatever year you're from. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Screen Time Continuum. If, when, and for sure, I know it's going to happen, so let's go with when. When you guys would like to find more podcasts, feel free to head over to some of our other shows. We do our best to give you a variety of content. You can head over to Twitch and or YouTube and check out Strawberries and Coffee. where Dejan runs video games for you, all of the things that you may not even know is out, things that you may not own the console to run on, and or games that you've played multiple times and you simply want to jump in the comment section and tell him what you know about the game and help him pass a level. Head over to Strawberries and Coffee's excuse me, Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch, Dejan goes on Tuesdays between 10 and 10:15, Thursdays between 10 and 10:15, and uploads the next day to YouTube so that you can watch them at your leisure. But if you want to catch him live or impromptu, make sure to hit the subscribe button on Twitch. If you want to check out the Exofathom, which is, in my opinion, one of the coolest shows out there right now. There's always a new topic that I'm like, I didn't even know how would you go in on that? Like, that's a lot of information and you have to digest it, but it's just really powerful information and it's always entertaining in various ways. Check out the Exofathom. They come on Mondays and Fridays at 8:30?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. And that is hosted by Nick, Ayla, and Mike. I was gonna say Nick, Dejan, and Ayla, and I was like, wait, I think Dejan only did like one episode. And you know what? Hey, you never know. You might also catch all of us in on an episode of Exofathom one day, just depending on what the topic is. So head on over there. The Exofathom is on YouTube and on Facebook. And you can also check out my personal show I do, which is called If Numbers Could Talk. The If Numbers Could Talk show is based on numbers and just the discussions I have as I'm reading the numbers, so to speak, how they process, how they speak to me, and what I understand from them. They kind of speak a different language. You guys might not really understand unless you talk to numbers too. But check me out on Tuesdays. I'm usually on for you about 8 p.m., sometimes a little bit later, depending on what the Tuesday may bring. And over there, I give you guys anything from sports, comic books, cars. Always trying to find something different to go through the numbers on and present to you guys. And yeah, I just can't thank you guys enough. We can't thank you guys enough for coming to all of the multiple shows we have, checking out the things that we are bringing to you, and giving us your feedback. That is probably the best thing, is knowing that you guys enjoy what we do. My name is Keelan for the Screen Time Continuum, and I appreciate you guys. As always, I am here with
Nick
and the mustard.
And we'll be here for you again on Wednesday. Wednesday, we'll be back to
With Westworld.
Westworld, episode 6.
It's Odin's Day, finally.
Odin's Day is back.
Odin's Day is back.
So yes, we appreciate you guys. Oh, definitely. I'm listen. I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say nothing else about Westworld. Woo! I really didn't expect to like that show so much, and I am getting a kick out of it. So yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday.